What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, a lot of the extreme LeBron fanatics are ecstatic right now that Milwaukee was eliminated by the Miami Heat. You know what I'm saying? They temporarily became Miami Heat fans and shit. Once again, you know, ever since 2014, they could give two shits about Miami. But for a little span, about 4 games, they temporarily became Miami Heat fans again. And, you know, well, 5 games actually. They became Miami Heat fans again, and I guess they got their wish. Milwaukee was eliminated yesterday by Miami. I think the final score was 103-94, I think. And Giannis did not play the last 2 games, but I don't think that would have made that much of a difference. Um, well, they were down 3-0, man. That was essentially pretty much a death sentence. And you know, I'm not gonna make excuses for the Milwaukee Bucks. This is unacceptable. It's unacceptable for a team that had the best record for much of the NBA regular season. I think they finished the best record. Um, I will say this though: ever since a couple of games before the shutdown and since, Milwaukee has not looked quite as dominating. But I'm not going to make that as an excuse. Because if you have the best record in the NBA, you should not be losing in the second round of playoffs. You know, and they regressed. They went from at least making it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year to being eliminated in 5 in semis. And one good thing is that if you're a Milwaukee Buck fan, and we all know that at the end of next season, Giannis becomes a free agent, right? So that's something that's looming on the horizon for the Milwaukee Bucks. And for Giannis to come out today, only 12 hours after his season ended, you know what I'm saying? Well, a lot of us was starting to think he was feeling the pressure, the media pressure to leave and go to better horizons, try to win a championship. Giannis showed that he's built differently, you know what I'm saying? And that he's cut from the old school cloth and that he wants to do something that's more important. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these younger dudes don't understand that. A lot of them don't have honor. They don't have integrity. You know what I'm saying? They think winning a piggyback championship somehow means something. These are the same people who, when they playing video games, go online and search up cheat codes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they think getting a they have no morals, man. Some of these people, man. I'm not talking about everybody, man, but some of these people they don't have no fucking morals, man. You know what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, if you gotta use a cheat code to beat somebody, then that shit you really suck. And if you have to join forces with another super team just to get a championship, which even if you do win that championship, you don't tend to get the full credit for it. You know, you still don't feel as fulfilled as you would if you won that championship on your own terms. And to me, what's more important is when you change the perception of that franchise and the culture of that city. If Giannis can turn the Milwaukee Bucks from being a pretty much a damn near 30-year laughing stock to becoming a team that's a hot potential free agent magnet and winning a championship and actually making them like a respected franchise, that small market. I mean, look what happened with Tim Duncan. You know what I'm saying? The San Antonio Spurs, yeah, they were a really good team with David Robinson. They were. Um, but the Spurs were always perceived before Tim Duncan. They were perceived as a soft team, and they were perceived as a team that were pretenders. And Tim Duncan changed that. And 5 championships later, although they're no longer a championship contending team, they are seen as one of the great franchises in modern NBA history. What if Giannis can do something like that? What if Giannis, I'm not saying he wins 5, what if Giannis can win 1 or 2 championships for the Milwaukee Bucks? The Bucks now. You know what I'm saying? So I like the fact that he plans on staying in Milwaukee. I think they should try to go after Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul would make everybody's lives easier on that court. Remember last year when they had Malcolm Brogdon, right? If I remember correctly, Malcolm Brogdon played the first 64 games before he went down with what was it, severe plantar fasciitis or something like that, and he missed the first couple of rounds of the playoffs. He came back during the Eastern Conference Series, but he wasn't really himself. Remember how until Malcolm Brogdon went down, right around that time, Khris Middleton was looking like shit, Ray Allen. I mean, he was putting up Ray Allen numbers. But as soon as Malcolm Brogdon went down, he started struggling. And of course, with Malcolm Brogdon still struggling in the conference finals, Khris Middleton still looks like shit. You know what I'm saying? This year, Khris Middleton has been up and down. He didn't look quite as you know he didn't look quite as dominant, I want to use that word, as he did last year. A lot of it had to do with the fact that they got rid of Malcolm Brogdon. And to me, Eric Bledsoe is not the answer at point guard. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really have an outside shot. He's even more inconsistent than Khris Middleton. He does a lot of bonehead, dumb shit out there on the court. Sometimes he becomes a turnover prone idiot. And I really think they need to go after Chris Paul, man. He will make everybody's lives out there so much easier. The most important, he'll take a lot of defensive pressure, defensive pressure off of Giannis. And he will make life easier for Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm fully aware that the 34, 35-year-old Chris Paul from 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011. I get that. Not the same guy. But based upon what Chris Paul did this year, when nobody really expected, except for a few people, I know one of them, that was Ticket, Sean Ticket. But very few people thought that the Thunder would do anything. I thought Chris Paul would have a great season, but I didn't know if the Thunder were going to make the playoffs. But not only were the Thunder not the worst team in the NBA, they made the playoffs. And they pushed the Rockets to the brink, literally. Pushed them to the brink of elimination in that 7th game. But you'll have people that'll tell you that Chris Paul sucks and he's a loser. But they don't know shit about basketball. They don't know about, you know what I'm saying, if you take Chris Paul off of those teams wouldn't even been those opportunities anyway. 2018 Rockets, Lob City. Those teams wouldn't even been shit without him any fucking way. He wasn't a beneficiary of being on those teams. Those teams benefited from him being on those teams. Unfortunately, he got injured at fucked up times. But it is what it is, man. People love to shit on people when they're down, and that's why it's so sweet when these guys have their moments, man. When the haters can't be found and shit. But Giannis continues to improve every year, and at the end of the day, what I'm saying, I don't know what the finished product was going to look like, but I know that he hears the critics and he tells you, I need to improve, and he's working on improving. He needs to work on a lot of stuff. He's still only 25 years old. This is what people don't understand, man. Look, I remember when, for instance, LeBron was 25 years old, all right? Which was only 10 years ago. 25 years ago, everybody expected LeBron to finally face Kobe Bryant in the NBA Finals, okay? 2009, 2010 season. And the year before that, they got knocked out by that dude that likes to trace, you know, he likes to chase those, men in skirts. They got knocked out by that team. But they finally expected, okay, this is the year. Boston's older. Garnett's not the same guy anymore after the injury. All right. This is the year that Kobe and LeBron are going to meet up. And once again, LeBron didn't get it done. Okay. They got knocked out by the Boston Celtics. And I remember all of the criticism that this man faced. LeBron, he just can't get it done in the clutch. He can't lead his team to a championship. He can't knock down an outside shot when it needs be. All the same similar shit they're saying about about Giannis. To an extent, LeBron's a great athletic specimen, but he's not a good shooter. He can't knock down threes. Blah 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 blah. LeBron, the pressure was overwhelming to him, and he left. Now there was some other shit going on. Some other extracurricular shit going on with teammates disrespecting his mother and shit, you know. But he left. He left, went to Miami, and then the next year they made it to the finals, but then he played like shit. So I remember the dark days. The media, I'm gonna tell you something. When they lost that finals to Dallas, the media turned on LeBron. That's what I was making so many videos trying to make excuses for LeBron. I remember the losing years for this dude. But the thing is this, when the pressure got too much for LeBron, he bailed. Giannis is cut from a different cloth. He's a different type of person. I'm not saying it makes him better, but he's different. He's like Dave Lillard. And yeah, what I'm saying? Right now, neither one of them won a championship, but a lot of that got to do with other factors too. You know what I'm saying? To me, I think Lillard needs to move to the two. And he need to fire their coach too. Coach got a lot to do with it too. Milwaukee needs to fire their coach, Budenholzer. Budenholzer. He is a great regular season coach. He can create a team that can win during the regular season. His problem to me is that he can't he can't make he could create a great system and team philosophy, which translates to a lot of wins. We've seen that. Atlanta won 60 games. This team won 60 some games during the regular season. But he can't make adjustments in the playoffs to save his fucking life. They need a really good. You know what, Milwaukee? Do us all a favor. Do us all a favor. I'm gonna tell you something. God damn it. If y'all do this, y'all will officially become my second team forever. Hire Mark Jackson. Milwaukee, hire Mark Jackson. If Giannis can get Milwaukee to hire Mark Jackson, Giannis need to win the next 3 MVP. But yeah, man. But I know one thing: I need to fire Mike Budenholzer, man. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say, man. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Miami too, man, because it's got to give them credit too. Remember this though? Remember how a lot of people at the beginning of the season was criticizing Jimmy Butler for leaving? Remember that? A lot of people was criticizing Jimmy Butler for leaving Philly and saying that. So yeah, remember it was like a whole bunch of so-called experts criticizing him and saying, "Oh, he just want to go down there so he can be on a bad team and put up shots and points and shit like that." Nope. They owe him a great big apology. You know what I'm saying? What it seems like is that the problem was never Jimmy Butler on those other teams. With Minnesota, with Philly, it wasn't Jimmy Butler. It was those lazy ass fucking players that are around him that don't want to work. And you can see the effect of a guy like Jimmy Butler, and even at his advanced age, Andre Iguodala. You can see the effect those guys, those veterans, have on those younger guys. Look how hard they play, man. All these guys that aren't even very heralded. And look at these dudes and these other teams that's putting up numbers and that's it. They putting up numbers and losing. The Sixers, they didn't even make it to the fucking second round. Ben Simmons, all he want to do is smash, you know what I'm saying, Instagram chicks and shit. This man just ain't even improved his game one iota. Hasn't improved his game one bit. To me, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, man, if Ben Simmons is out the league in about 6, 7 years, man. He just seemed like the type of dude that's not working on his game. You know, and he's relying on his athleticism. And at the end of the day, if he gets into a situation where he gets injured or he becomes injury prone or if injuries rob him of his athleticism, what are you going to rely on then? So, I don't know. I'm talking a little bit too much in this video, but tell me what you guys think.